What is going on, Thumb Thumbs? This is Summer the Chew, bringing to you guys our Week 12. Yes, we have made it. Week 12 battle team prep for the LDL, the Lonely Draft League. The Salt Lake City Swampers are going to be taking on Steven, coach of the Russleville Rockets, for a rematch. And I should turn off my Facebook. Hold on, let me go ahead and close that out and bring that back over. But yes, we are both sitting at, currently for our records, at 7-4, which means whoever wins this battle this week gets to take the second seed for our whole entire conference. Not that it matters, because we just have to turn around next week and battle Steven again for the playoffs, because I don't know why. So that means we'll be facing Steven 3 full times. But, so for this battling, or at least for this team building, I should say, really. When I was in Arizona this past week, I definitely just handed the team building over to my buddy Jack. Jack and I are really good friends. I battled him a couple times through a draft league, and we really do think alike. He's actually the person who our Jolteon is named after. So Jack really knows a lot about this style of battling and team building. So I gave all props to him for building this team for me, and I threw in my 2 cents here and there. But let's just quickly go over his team, some of the things that have changed, the things that he's brought last time, the things I think he's going to bring this time, and then we'll jump into our team. It's going to be a very short video, just because, this battle, while I do want to win, I want to end the regular season on a high note. If we don't, it's perfectly fine, because we've made playoffs, if that makes sense. But we're definitely going to have some fun, and this team is definitely going to allow us to do that, so... Pardon me. So first up is he does have Heatran, who completely walled our team last time. Just didn't carry Hidden Power Ground. I ran with Hidden Power Grass instead on a couple mons. Or Hidden Power Fire, I think. Yeah, it was Hidden Power Fire instead of Hidden Power Ground, which was all in all just the worst mistake that I ever made. If it's a substitute set or an Assault Vest set, it can be really problematic for the team that we do have built. However, all in all, having that weakness to fighting and the weakness to ground is very easy to take advantage of, especially with the team that we are bringing. Next up is going to be Rotom Wash. Prez brought a very specific Rotom Wash with the Waterium Z that he does have on his team for Waterium Hydro Pump, which is possibly one of the strongest Waterium Zs in the entire game. And what that does, well, we thought we had him with our Jolteon last time with our Gigavolt Havoc. He lived on the slightest sliver. He planned for it. He calced it. He made sure that was what happened. And instead of running Thunder, I ran Thunderbolt like an idiot. And he definitely got the best of us. He also ran Defog on it. I'm not sure if he's going to bring Defog again this time around. However, if he does, I won't be surprised. I'm just really praying that he doesn't, just to make this an easy win for us. Next up is going to be that Mienshao. Once again, a very fast. This is just a super fast Mon. Banded, Scarfed. It doesn't matter. It's just going to hit hard regardless. U-turn, knock off, poison jab, high jump kick. All in all, very scary. It does get Regenerator, which does allow it to stay up. Which does allow it to switch in and out a lot, especially with U-turn. Give it a couple U-turns and it's back to full health. Very problematic. I believe that is the fastest Mon on his team, however. So we are very easily able to speed creep on it and take advantage of the fact that is his fastest Mon and really build a lot more bulky, as you guys will see. Up next, he dropped, I believe it was the Cloyster. Yes, the Cloyster was dropped, and he picked up regular Kyurem. Kyurem is actually a very bulky Mon and very scary to deal with. Just like a substitute Roost set can be very problematic. It can carry Earth Power, Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, a lot of things that can really hurt us. So if he does decide to bring the Kyurem, I definitely see it as either being a Scarf or a substitute set. So we will have to be careful with that. Up next is that Jellicent. Jellicent, Water Absorb, Water Ghost type, just super difficult to handle, very difficult to wear down with the Cursed Body as well. He could never know what ability he could be running. However, if we can figure out if it's physically or especially defensive, we can easily make the right plays accordingly and wear this thing down super quickly. Up next is going to be Vileplume. Vileplume is very fun for Prez, for sure. It's just one of those mons that you can either really come and do work or not come at all just because it doesn't fit. And honestly, I can see either or for our team, against our team, just because Vileplume just, it got the Strength Sap move this into Ultra Sun and Moon, which is just a very, very broken move if you guys don't know about it. It's a move where it lowers your attack, but then it regains health equal to your attack stat. So let's take Victini for example. If it hits you with the Strength Sap, yeah, the Victini's defense drops by 1, but then it gets 100 health back because Victini's 100 across the board. So that's really cool. That's a really cool mon, and it just allows his Vileplume to really stay on the field and really be bulky and really just take down our offensive attackers really, really easily. However, if he does not decide to bring it, I'm going to be more happy than not, just because a core part of our team revolves around him not bringing the Vileplume. However, if he does, I'm not going to be too worried about it. Mega Gardevoir, very strong, Fairy Psychic type, the Black Swan. Oh gosh, I miss her. I want to draft her again because seriously, it's honestly my favorite Mega. It's honestly my favorite Mega, and to go up against it again when we didn't even see her the first time when we faced Prez is just very, very problematic. Hyper Voice, Slice Shock, Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, Sub, Calm Mind. There's a lot of different things that this thing can do. It could even Trick Room if it really wanted to. Prez wanted to really get crazy with it, but all in all, this thing is just a super offensively hard-hitting wall breaker who just needs to click Hyper Voice and it just breaks through our team, which is very, very scary. So Volley, another mon that he brought specifically for our team. I really do hope he does bring the Savali again, because we didn't really get to see too much of what it could do. I believe it was either a flying or a grass type Savali that was specifically made for our team. If he does bring it again, I am more prepared for it, as you guys will see. And we'll just be able to really hit it as hard as we can, as quick as we can, just to get rid of it. Toucannon's also in that same kind of slot as Vileplume, just because it gets a potential brain, but very, very fun mon to work with. Watching Prez have it on his team has been really, really informational for me, I can say. Just because being Scarfed to being banded with the Beak Blast and throwing Overheat just for the lulz is really, 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 really intriguing to me, just how he thinks around that stuff. And on top of that, with the Beak Blast, because it has like some I want to call it like semi-priority, where it heats up its beak, and if you hit it, you do get the burn on it, and so it gets the burn on you, I should say. So if he does decide to bring it, we do have to play very carefully with our offensive attackers and making sure we're not making contact. Up next is Scavalier. Scavalier was the main reason that we did lose to Steven the first time, just because it did get a well-placed crit, I should say, against our Salamence, which really turned the tide of the battle for him. Really in his favor. It was already kind of in his favor, but now after that it really rolled. But this thing is very, very powerful Pokemon. I actually love this Pokemon as well, alongside Mega Gardevoir. It's a very good core right there, with a Fairy and a Steel type, a Fairy and a Steel type. But knockoff, Mega Horn, Iron Head, Substitute, Swords Dance, Life Orb, Assault Vest. There's a lot of potential that this mod can do. The fact that you can just run Adamant every single week to hit everything as hard as you can, 252 attack, maybe 252 HP, maybe throw in defense somewhere. It's very, very powerful mon, and I definitely do see him bringing it again, just because it does do the work to our team. And then finally, he did decide to drop Doug Trio somewhere along the season and pick up Hippowdon. Hippowdon, just a very, very bulky mon, something that he really did need. It does get access to Stealth Rocks, if I'm not mistaken. Slack Off, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Crunch, Ice Fang, I think it gets access to. And with leftovers, it just can stay on the field for quite a while and eat up a lot of hits, unless we have a very powerful water type, or like Sweet Poison or something. And I have brought both, just so you guys know. That's the spoilers getting into our team. And once again, that Waterium Z is there to make that make that Rotom's Hydro Pump possibly the hardest hitting move that he has on his team. He could throw it onto Jellicent or something else for maybe like a Z Rainy Day, or Rain Dance, not Rainy Day, that's Sunny Day. I'm still having flashbacks to Blazing Squid's battle. But Z Rain Dance, getting the +1 speed. It could be a possibility, because I know a lot of Pokemon do get Rain Dance, so we will have to be very, very cautious with that. But let's go ahead and jump into our team. Actually, no, scratch that. Back it up for a few more seconds. The four mons I really do see him bringing are going to be the Mega Gardevoir, the Savali, the Escavalier, and the Hippowdon. And then from there, you know, it's really up in the air as to any of his other mons can be brought for those last 2 slots. Heatran, you know, it walled our team. Rotom Wash, it destroyed our team. Mian Xiao is a very good switch pivot. Kyurem can be bulk. It can be speedy. Jellicent, it's that bulk that he could need. Vileplume is going to be scary. And then Toucannon can be there for the lulz. So you never know what's going to happen, but those 4 that I mentioned earlier, I definitely see him bringing, just because it makes the most sense to bulk out everything and then take down my team. Let's go ahead and jump into the team that we are going to be bringing. That, once again, was built by our buddy Jack. And ironically enough, Jolteon is not going to be a part of this this week's team, but starting everything off is going to be the return of Corsage, you guys. Corsage is here, rocking out with a fully specially defensive set, almost fully specially defensive. Let's see. Yeah, fully specially defensive set with a little bit of speed on there, just to speed creep a speed creeping Rotom if Prez decides to want to go that route. However, I don't really see that happening. We just did it as a precaution, but Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, 2 regular stab moves for it. Holding the Black Sludge, Giga Drain just helps with a lot of recovery and just longevity of Corsage. The Hidden Power Ground is there specifically for that Heatran if he does decide to bring it. Hidden Power Ground is very, very crucial into taking it down, because this set that we do have can live a max special attack Fire Blast from Heatran, from what I understand. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see that play out and be able to knock out this Heatran as quick as we can. And then Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes won't be able to affect a whole lot of Pokemon on his team, but a lot of his walls, besides the Vileplume, don't want to be poisoned and all that stuff, and the only real healer he has is that Mega Gardevoir. However, I don't see Mega Gardevoir playing that type of role against our team, excuse me. And so Toxic Spikes are very, very important this match, just because I want to get them up as quick as I can. However, I have to play it safe and make sure that if that Vileplume does come around, I don't just sack off Corsage, out of the blue, and then Toxic Spikes are gone and I can't do anything. But it's very, very powerful mon. I'm happy that it's a different set than what we brought the last time. It'll throw Prez a curveball for sure. Next up, of course, we're going to be rocking out with Mega Aggron or Palladium. Mega Aggron. Sorry, my phone's going off. Sorry, you guys. Business work never ends for me. But Mega Aggron is here, you guys. A fully physically defensive set, just because it does allow us to eat up a lot of hits from those physical mons. We can pretty much wall everything. You know, we eat up the Earthquakes extremely well from the Hippowdon. We wall the Escavalier pretty thoroughly. If the Toucannon we wall. The Savali, if he wants to be physically offensive, we wall. The only thing that we don't really handle, unfortunately, is going to be that Mian Xiao. The high jump kicks are just too powerful, bro. But because of that reason in particular, I did decide to rock out with Protect on this set. It's an impish nature, of course, just for the extra boost, and we really don't need the speed. Stealth Rock as well. Stealth Rock just allows us to hit those other things that don't get affected by the by the Toxic Spikes, like the Heatran, the Rotom. Kyurem automatically takes 25% alongside the Toucannon, so it's going to be very, very nice to have that around as well. Fire Punch, General Stab. Not General Stab, just a general hit for everything on his team that Heavy Slam doesn't take care of. I opted out of Earthquake this week, just because it is such a regular move to have on Mega Aggron, and throwing on Fire Punch really does allow us to handle a lot of things better, and Mega Aggron's really not going to be staying on a Heatran. He really isn't, because, he's physically defensive, not especially defensive. If he was, I would have put Earthquake on there, but, this set just allows us to hit everything fairly neutral, fairly around the board, except for that Heatran, because I do have other answers for it. So hopefully that does play out to our advantage, and we will be able to go ahead and, really wear things down with the Toxic Spikes with the Stealth Rock. And if he does defog, well, then I can just easily set him up once again. Up next, you guys, is going to be the return of Periwinkle, our Florges. Florges rocking out with a fully physically defensive set alongside Mega Aggron. They're a duo this week instead of opposites. Like I said, this is a very, very bulky team that Jack put together for us to outbulk everything that he does bring. With Energy Ball, Hidden Power Fire, especially for that Escavalier. We can catch it on the switch in. Synthesis for longevity for Periwinkle itself, and Toxic. Like I said, Toxic is just super important. If I can Toxic anything with Toxic Spikes or throw Toxic onto any other Mon, I'm going to be perfectly happy with that. Very, very standard set. Energy Ball hits a lot of things that Hidden Power Fire can't. Once again, Heatran, not going to worry about it. It's a Steel type. Florus is not going in on it by any means. We just got to make sure we call that Hidden Power Fire play perfectly for that Escavalier instead of Heatran. It's the only big issue, but hopefully he just doesn't bring Heatran, and then our life is better. Coming up next, we do have Rainman. Rainman, our Slowbro, you guys, are with a very powerful set. This is like my favorite set from this week. Alongside the Mon that we're bringing next. These two next Mons are really going to be putting in the work. Something to actually handle the Heatran. We have a Assault Vest Slowbro, Rainman, rocking out with 252 HP, 252 special attack, modest nature. That's right. Rainman is actually going on the offensive this week for us. It's going to be very, very powerful with Scald, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, and Fire Blast. We kind of opted out of the Psyshock just because Psyshock really only hit the Vileplume, being a poison type. However, Vileplume could really eat up the hits, and Ice Beam just did just about as much, and it almost was two-shot as well. So I opted out of Psyshock or Psychic and just went with the Ice Beam. It's just more coverage for his team, and that allowed us to throw on Fire Blast for that Escavalier on the off chance it does want to switch in. But this is a very, very fun set. Super bulky, super offensive, and it's gonna be fun. I'm actually gonna be really excited to use this set, and we have a regenerator, of course, just so Rainman can get that health back if I do need to switch him out. Then up next, of course, making her return. It's been a while since she's been on the team, on the roster here, but we're bringing Bellatrix back, baby. Bellatrix, our Miss Magius Choice Scarf set. 252 special attack, 252 speed. Very, very fun Mon for us to use. Mystical Fire, Shadow Ball, and Thunder. Thunder's very, very risky, I understand, but it hits so hard. It hits super hard. Depending on the calcs, I might want to switch that over to Thunderbolt if I'm feeling it. I'm not 100% sure, but Thunder just hits a lot harder. You know, we get the 30% chance to paralyze if we do want to lock ourselves into that. And then Destiny Bond. Destiny Bond was used against us in week 1 against Matt, and you know, we've never used it ourselves, and I figure that this is the right time to do that. Bring Bellatrix in on a Mon that we know that we won't be able to handle. Destiny Bond, let him knock us out, and boom, we're back in business, baby. We get rid of a huge threat, like say the Heatran, like say the Mega Gardevoir, like say the Kyurem, the Rotom Wash, the Mienshao, you know, all that fun stuff. But it's going to be very, very fun. Mystical Fire is very powerful. Shadow Ball is very, very powerful. And honestly, I'm debating whether or not I just want to start off with Miss Magius and just click Shadow Ball, because a lot of things that want to start off with don't want to handle this thing. Especially that Mega Gardevoir. Especially the Mega Gardevoir and the Jellicent. And then last but not least, what's a week without the Blazing Squid, guys? Yeah, of course, we have Infernape coming in. Expert Bell, Iron Fist, Jolly Nature, just a little bit of speed to outspeed that Mega Gardevoir. If I'm not mistaken, it was either I believe it was the Mega Gardevoir or it was the Mienshao. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to double check. But 236 in speed, Jolly Nature, 252 in attack, 12 HP, 8 defense, just because it can be spread. Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, Gunk Shot, Close Combat, all on offensive. We wanted to try and get U-Turn in on there alongside Jolteon, just for a lot of switch potential, but because it just didn't fit the team this week, and so we just opted for fully offensive. The Thunder Punch, Iron Fist, Expert Belt just powers everything up more and more alongside the Close Combat. The Gunk Shot primarily there, of course, for that Mega Gardevoir. And anything else that wants to try and mess with us. We've been getting really lucky when we have brought Gunk Shot in the past. We got a Gunk Shot Poison turn 1 against Matt all the way back in week 1 against his Mega Altaria, which is super cool. But Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, you know, it does the work. Close Combat is specifically there for that Heatran, for that Hippowdon. But like I said, Hippowdon is a beast, and it can eat him up all day. But hopefully at that point he'll be toxic, and we'll be able to do the dang work. So a couple things with this team, you know, like I said, I passed all the team building over to Jack. I gave my 2 cents in. We debated back and forth over a couple of things, but I wasn't too worried just because I did clinch playoffs. You know, I have to face Prez next week. And so, Salamence didn't want to come because we have a couple sets that we might be wanting to save for next week. We have Crocodile and Armaldo. They almost filled the same role. However, it just didn't fit. It just didn't fit the team build. It didn't fit the kind of momentum that we wanted for the team. Because if we would have it would have mainly been there for the stealth rocks for knockoff and all that stuff. However, we've just felt like it just wasn't worth it. They both really do get bopped by a lot of things on the team. And then Jolteon, like I said, Jolteon was a part of the team for a while alongside Infernape, with Volt Switch and U-Turn being a possibility, but it just didn't fit the feel, and there wasn't enough. And at that time, we didn't have the bulk around to really play around with that, and so we opted to not bring them as well. And then, am I missing anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, Corsage. And Xploud. Xploud I've been bringing every week. Xploud just has to take a bench. He has to rest his vocals. Just because, and then also, yeah, just there wasn't really much that Xploud could do, locking it into one move. Because if I do want to bring it, I do want to bring it Specs or Scarfed. And right now, it wasn't doing the work that I needed it to. However, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about what moves I should have brought, what Pokemon I should have brought, any specific sets you want to see coming up for the playoffs, because this is it. This is the last week. This is week 12, and then we move on to playoffs, and then from there, it's winner take all. Winner take all. But you guys are willing to bet. Don't you guys fret. I'm going to be bringing you the best content I can right now, and then if we do go all the way, it's going to be awesome. But at any point, if we do lose the season, I'm just going to say LDL Season 6 has been incredible. I've loved this team. It's been a season I've fully completed. I haven't missed a week. I've been late on uploads, yes, but this team has been very, very fun to work with. And I'm definitely going to be doing like a team recap, like a postseason recap of how I felt with the team and the trades I've made and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to get up out of here. I'm actually going to be preparing to battle Steven. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you are new here, definitely subscribe and click that little bell so you know that when I when I post videos like this, I do it all the time. As well as leave a comment down below. Let me know what team you guys would have brought. Like I said, my name is Sunbrother2, and I'm out.